Hello, hello, good morning. Hello,
Yes,
Yes, sir.
you hear me now?
yes,
Okay, so it was power cut, and because of that, there was an interruption. So, dear students, we began the chapter Ivan's tries and O level 3 days back, and we have reached the middle of the story. Just quick recap of the story. So, in the story, we are going to read about a character whose name is Ivan. He is the protagonist. Protagonist means the main character of the story. The whole story is moving around him. So, Ivan, he is a prisoner. He has escaped from the jail 3 times, and this was his fourth successful attempt escaping from the jail. In order to succeed in his plan, he had hired a tutor who was coming to give him to give him tuition every day, and he was going to appear for the German O level certificate exam. And in the starting of the story, we read the conversation between the secretary of the board and the governor. Both of them were talking about Ivan how to conduct the exam. And the secretary of the board said that you can conduct the exam in Ivan's cell itself because it would be risky for others to bring him outside of the jail and then arrange all the safety and security for him. So therefore, it's better that you arrange the exam for Ivan's in the jail because he is all alone there. And we shall send an invigilator. We shall send a person from Saint Mag. So McClary. So McClary was decided to invigilate the exam by the board, but actually McClary was made hostage in his own house by Ivan's friend. Ivan had a very, very long, good link in the society. He had many friends who helped him escaping from the prison. Jackson is the senior officer in the prison. He was taking all the commands of the governor. Governor was the supreme head of the prison. He is the supreme authority of the prison or jail. He was a jailer. And then Stephen was a newly recruit in the police service, and he was having his duty here, checking Ivan, observing Ivan, observing his safety and security. So early morning before the exam had taken place, Stephen and Jackson they had visited Ivan, and both of them checked to see whether he had any weapon, any razor, any knife, or any sharp weapon. If it was there, they will take it because it would be dangerous for the invigilator and for others. Ivan might misuse it and he might hostage the one who was coming to invigilate his exam. So they came, but unfortunately, they didn't ask Ivan to remove his bobble hat, even though Jackson had asked, but Ivan had requested. Ivan said that this is my lucky charm, and because this is my lucky charm, please allow me to keep it. And somewhere in his heart, Jackson had humanity, he had kindness, so he had allowed Ivan to keep his lucky charm, and under that bobble hat there was all the trick, there was the get up, makeup of McClary. So it was a pre planned escape by Ivan, but the jail authorities were unaware of it. They were unaware that Ivan was going to cheat them, Ivan was going to escape fourth time from the prison. He had hired a tutor, and tutor was none other than Ivan's friend who was coming every day, and he was also included in the plan and strategy of making Ivan escape from the prison. So we read up to yesterday that Ivan's exam had to be begun, and before it was about to start, Ivan opposed the presence of Stephen. He told his invigilator, he said, if he is going to stand here, how can I concentrate? I cannot concentrate in my exam. So please tell him to go out, otherwise it is very difficult for me to concentrate. Now all of you come to page number 78. Page number 78, and where we left last time, I am reading it for you, and then we shall continue. So all of you check it on page number 78, and it is in the middle of the page. That is, it was 9:25 a.m. and there was a great calm at 9:45 a.m. The examination board rang through, and the assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages asked to speak to the governor. The examination had already started, no doubt. Ah, a quarter of an hour ago. Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief. Could the governor please? So it was a call from the examination board, and it was assistant secretary, and he called to the governor, and he said that there was a correction slip which has to be rectified in the exam, and some fool. So who is fool here? He is calling to McClary, the invigilator. He indirectly that he has forgotten to keep it in the packet, he has forgotten to check it, and therefore the slip has been left behind here. Now I want to send someone so that the slip could be placed in the packet. Now, yes, of course, I will put you straight through to Mr. Jackson in the wing. So, Assistant Secretary had called to Governor, and Governor said, okay, no problem. I will straight put you. I will ask Jackson to talk to you. He is the in charge of the D wing where Ivan is imprisoned. Hold the line a minute. Was this the sort of thing the governor had feared? Now, do you think this was a sort of thing the governor was afraid of? Was the phone call a fake, some signal, some secret message? But he could check on that immediately. The governor could check that immediately. He dialed the number of the examination board, but heard only the staccato bleep. So in order to check whether the phone call is fake or original, what did the governor do? He dialed the number of the examination board to cross check whether the call is, but actually his call was not reaching. His call was unreachable because it was giving only a beep sound. The line showed that the phone is engaged, but actually it was not engaged. It was the trick by, again, Evans and his friend. But then the line was engaged, wasn't it? Not very intelligent that. So he thought that he is not very intelligent, that he could engage the line or something like that. 2 minutes later, he heard some whispered communication in the cell, and then McClary's broad Scots voice. So McClary started speaking in Scott voice. What is Scott? He was from Scotland, so he was speaking Scottish language. So he had that accent. Accent means way of pronunciation or way of sound or way of speaking. So he had that Scott accent. So McClary was speaking something to Ivan, and the governor heard this through his microphone. Will you please stop writing a little while, Mr. Evans, and listen carefully. Candidates offering German 0 to 1-1 should note the following correction. So this was the correction which was announced by the assistant secretary to Jackson, and Jackson had told it to McClary, and McClary was announcing it to Ivan. So this was the correction. On page 3, line 15, page 3, line 15, the fourth word should read golden, not golden. So you could check the spelling also. He said the fourth word should read golden, not golden. And the whole phrase will therefore read Zum golden loan, not Zum golden lion. I will repeat that. So this is the slip which is describing the address to escape to trick the governor, and this correction slip was also knowingly intentionally put into the packet so that when Ivan had escaped, the governor will reach the place where they have guided him. So that is the name of the hotel. The governor listened and smiled. He had taken German in sixth form himself. So the governor knew German. He had taken German language. He had studied German language in sixth form. Sixth form means sixth class. Therefore, he understood and he smiled. Yes. Now continue. One of you who wants to read, raise your hand. Okay, Prakshal Daga. Yes, continue. Continue.
The governor listened and smiled. He had taken German in the sixth form himself, and he remembered all about the agreements of adjectives. And so did McClary, by the sound of things, for the minister's pronunciation was most impressive. But what about Evans? He probably did not know what an adjective was. The phone rang. The magistrate's court. They needed a prison van and a couple of prison officers. Remand case. And within 2 minutes, the governor was wondering whether that could be a hoax. He told himself not to be so silly. His imagination was beginning to run riot. Evans, for
Right.
the first
So
quarter.
the phone rang again, and it was from the magistrate court. They needed a prison van and a couple of prison officers. So the governor was so much panicked. He thought that this is a trick, this is a hoax call, this is a fake call. Somebody is trying to divert my attention. Might be Ivan's friend or it might be Ivan's some trick. So therefore, but then he thought that why should I bother too much about only Ivan's? It might be real call also. And then he thought his imagination was beginning to run riot. Beginning to run riot means his imagination was uncontrolled. He couldn't control his imagination about Ivan. He was only thinking, he was only imagining all kind of bad things about Ivan's. Yes, continue.
Yes, sir. For the first quarter of an hour, Stephens had dutiful peered through the peephole at intervals of 1 minute or so, and after that every 2 minutes. At
So this was the
10:45
duty of
a.m.
Stephen. Stephen time to time taking interval of 1.5 minute, and time to time he was peeping. He was peeping through the peephole, keeping an eye on Ivan. What is he doing? Whether he is giving the exam or he is trying to cheat, or has he harmed the invigilator? Is he making some plan, etc. Yes, continue.
At 10:45 a.m., everything was still all right as he looked through the peephole once more. It took 4 or 5 seconds, no more. What was the point? It was always more or less the same. Evans, his pen between his lips,
Staring.
sat staring straight. Sat staring straight in front of him towards the door, seeking, it seemed, some sorely needed inspiration from somewhere.
So
And
he was
opposite
just
him,
keeping his pen into his mouth and he was sitting. Ivan was not knowing any answer. He didn't know any answer. He was just holding his pen into his mouth and staring if some inspiration would come. God will help him, etc. He was sitting there, and Stephen was also watching him. Stephen understood that the boy doesn't know anything. He is a fool. Yes, continue.
And opposite him McAlery, seated slightly askew from the table now, his face in semi-profile, his hair, as Stephens had noticed earlier, amateurishly clipped pretty closely to the scalp, his eyes behind the pebble lenses peering short-sightedly at the church times, his right index finger hooked beneath the narrow clerical collar, and the fingers of the left hand, the nails meticulously manicured, slowly stroking the short black beard.
Yes.
At 10:50 a.m., the receiver crackled to life, and the governor realized he had almost forgotten Evans for a few minutes.
So again, the governor was forced to think about Ivan. So Ivan was so dangerous, so sharp mind, so clever that governor didn't want to take any chance with him. Yes, continue again at 10:50 a.m. The receiver crackled, and then what happened? Evans.
At 10:50 a.m., the receiver crackled to life, and the governor realized he would almost forgotten Evans for a few minutes. Evans, please, sir, a whisper. Evans, please, sir, louder. Evans, would you mind if I put a blanket round me shoulders, sir? It's a bit parky in here, isn't it? Silence. Evans, there is one on me bunk here, sir. McIllery, be quick about it. Silence.
So what did he ask for? Now Ivan asked for blanket. He said, I am feeling cold. I need a blanket. So it would be very kind of you if you arrange a blanket for me. And McClary instructed Stephen, and Stephen had gone to bring the blanket. Yes, continue.
At
Excuse me,
10:50,
sir.
Continue.
Sir,
Yes, what happened?
so what does "there's one on me bunk here" mean?
Which line?
Ivan's
Okay, okay,
dialogue.
yes,
But
yes.
there's
So
one.
there is one on me bunk here, sir. Bunk is what you call platform. The platform which is availed to the prisoner in the prison for sleeping. That is the bunk. So that is the bunk. He said, there is one on me bunk here, sir. Please avail me a blanket to sleep, so that I could use it. And the bunk is that platform where the prisoner sleep or sit in the cell. That is bunk. And McClary said, be quick about it. Yes.
at 10:51 a.m., Stephens was more than a little surprised to see a grey regulation blanket wrapped round Evan's shoulders, and he frowned slightly and looked at the examinee more closely. But Evans, the pen still between his teeth, was staring just as vacantly as before, blankly beneath a blanket. Should Stephens report the slight irregularity? Anything at all fishy, hadn't Jackson said. He looked through the peephole once again, and even as he did so, Evans pulled the dirty blanket more closely to himself. Was he planning a sudden Batman leap to suffocate McAlery in the blanket? Don't be daft.
Okay.
There
So
was
what
never.
happened? Stephen, as already I told you earlier, Stephen was coming time to time, and he was outside of the cell. He was peeping through the peephole, and he was watching what he once was doing inside. So Ivan had asked for the blanket, and McClary had said, "Yes, be quick about it." Ivan said, "It's kept there on my bunk," and McClary said, "Be quick." So Ivan had brought that blanket and he had covered himself continuously. And after some time, when Stephen came, so when Stephen saw him using the blanket, wrapped himself in the blanket, he was little surprised that why this guy is doing the. Is he making some plan? Is he trying to hostage the invigilator? Is he trying to suffocate the priest, McClary? What is he going to do? So all this confusion, all this imagination was going into the mind of Stephen, and Stephen understood that something is fishy, something negative is going to take place. Yes, continue now.
There was never any sun on the side of the prison, no heating either during the summer months, and it could get quite chilly in some of the cells. Stephens decided to revert to his earlier every minute observation. At
So Stephen
11:20
understood,
a.m.,
yes, Stephen knew that it was some problem in the prison because some of the cells were chilled. They were very cold in summer also because of the technology or because of something. And some people cannot adjust to the dark, and because of that thing, because of strategy or because of some technology, they were chilled in summer. So Stephen came back to his previous conclusion, and again he went out, and time to time he was keeping observation on Ivan. Continue.
at 11:20 a.m., the receiver once more crackled across the silence of the governor's office, and McClary informed Evans that only 5 minutes remained.
तू माने काय कर बोले माँ
Yes, continue.
The
Vikas
examination was
Sharma,
almost
माँ
over.
ने मैं कोई कोई नहीं है कौन लाग्यो तुम बता तू तो क्या बताओ मम्मी
mute yourself.
मैं थे तो यहाँ चले जाओ वगैरह कितना मजाक में हाँ कोई नहीं मुझे लग
Shikha, mic mute कर.
You don't know you are sitting in live class to bit Shikha, and your class is being recorded, and you are talking here. You still doesn't have, you are in 12th class. You have no sense at all. You are in live class and your mic is not mute. What is this? Or intentionally you are putting your mic on and talking, isn't it? Learn that at least. I told you many times. Yes, continue Prakshal. Yes, anybody would like to read any change or continue the same person? Okay, Gracie, want to read? Yes, continue.
Yes, sir. It was 11:20 a.m. The receiver once more crackled across the silence of the governor's office, and McClary informed Evans that only 5 minutes remained. The examination was almost over now, but something still gnawed away quietly in the governor's mind. He reached for the phone once more. At 11:22 a.m., Jackson shouted along the corridor to Stephens. The governor wanted to speak with him. Hurry, man! Stephens picked up the phone apprehensively and listened to the rapid spoken orders. Stephens himself was to accompany McClary to the main prison gates. Understood? Stephens
Okay,
personally
so
was
at
to
12,
make
11:20 a.m., Jackson shouted along the corridor to Stephen. He said, Stephen, come, Stephen, the governor wanted to speak to you. The governor wants to tell something to you. So Stephen ran and went to the receiver, and through the receiver, he heard governor saying that you should accompany McClary, the invigilator, to the main gate. You must very safely and carefully drop McClary out of the prison, out of main gate. It is your duty. But actually later on you would come to know that this was not the order or instruction of the governor. This was a fake call made by one of Ivan's friend. Continue. What happens?
yes, sir. Understood. Stephens personally was to make absolutely sure that the door was locked on Evans after McClary had left the cell. Understood? Understood. At 11:25 a.m., the governor heard the final exchanges. McClary, stop writing, please. Silence. McClary, Put your sheets in order and see they are correctly numbered. Scraping of chairs and tables. Evans. Thank you very much, sir. McCleary. All right, was it? Evans. Not too bad. McCleary. Good, Mr. Stephens. Very loud. The governor heard the door clang for the last time. The examination was over. How
So
did he get on, do you think?
finally the exam was over and the governor heard through the receiver, through the microphone, finally that the exam was over, and he was very happy that finally now exam is over. Now it is his duty to release McCleary, the invigilator, freely without any harm. And now, how did he get on, do you think? Asked Stephen as he walked beside McCleary to the main gate. So now when the exam was over, Stephen came to accompany McCleary to the main gate, and he asked to McCleary, how did he get on? What do you think? How did he do in the exam? Oh, I can't think he is going to distinguish himself. I'm afraid. So he said, I don't think he has done very well. I don't think he would even pass the exam. His Scots accent seemed broader than ever. And now there was some change in his Scot accent. Earlier also, he was showing some Scot accent, but now it changed. And Stephen could notice it. And his long black overcoat reaching almost to his knees. So now remember, these are the changes in McCleary. When he came for taking the exam, his accent was little different. Now accent is different. His coat was little